Hello everyone, welcome to my next video. After watching my last video, some of my viewers complained that even after studying 12 to 14 hours, they are not getting any result. They are not satisfied by their output. One of the reasons may be these things are new to you and to grasp new thing you need to exert more. But once you would complete it, second time you would need a very little effort in recalling and you would understand everything easily. Suppose you started playing a new game. So in order to learn how to play that game, you need to keep every information of that game in your mind, which is a tough task and it would take time. But once you have remembered all the rules of that game, and even if you have left it for some time, you don't need to learn it again. You only need to play it one time and everything will be on your fingertip once again. So study is also like this only. To understand new chapters of your vast syllabus, you need to study brutally. But once you have completed your portion, you don't need any extra effort for revision. Only you need to be cautious. But if you would be careless in revision, all your hard work would be worthless. Second reason would be dissembled study. I had made a video on topic how to study. Link is in description. In this video I would focus on second reason and I will describe some points to get maximum output from study. Suppose like JEE and NEET a competitive exam is held. 10 lakh students appeared and 1000 candidates are to be selected. And if only 0.1% students are to be selected, then they all must be first intelligent or talented, second erudite or knowledgeable, third hardworking or studious, fourth nicely guided by good teachers and good institution. Some think fortune is also one of the factor, but they are wrong. After many ups and downs, these 0.1% have reached here, and due to their determination, they do not lose their hope and worked continuously. So destiny can't be the reason. But there is a question. What would be the reason that one student got first rank, one got 100th rank, and one got 1000th rank? What made the difference that only few are selected and rest are out? Many students were talented. Many students worked hard. Many had good teachers, but they didn't qualify. So talent alone can't make you qualify. Hard work alone can't make you qualify. Good teachers alone can't make you qualify. Then the question is, how will you qualify? The answer is fifth point, which is planning or strategy. So even if you are talented, you need to work hard, but in a planned way. Even if you have support from good teachers, you need to work hard and you need to make a strategy for your study. If you are thinking you will fire blindly and hit your target, then you are wrong. You need to open your eyes and concentrate to your target. So if you want to be top rankers in any competitive examinations, you need fifth point along with other 4 points. So in this video I will explicate planning or strategy to get maximum output or result. My first point is always divide your work in different grades according to their importance. Divide all your daily tasks in three different levels: primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary means you need to complete that task at any cost. Secondary means the work which is the most important after primary, which will take most of your time. Tertiary means that is not important to every day. If you have time left, only then you do that. These are recreational activities. So works like sleeping, taking meal, cleaning your body, etc. are your primary work. For a healthy life, you need to do these at proper time every day at any cost. Work which will decide your future, your career, which is study for you must be your secondary work. Secondary means you can only leave these works in very emergency only. So now if you have some hobbies like playing games, watching TV, movies, using social media, etc., you should keep these in third category, which is tertiary work. These are not at all important to do every day. But here is a big issue. Nowadays, most of the students consider social media, movies and games as their secondary task and they keep study at tertiary level. They play games, watch matches and use social media like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat every day. but do not study properly every day. And during study also they keep phones with them and they use phone while studying also. So first of all you need to leave these habits. Just keep your phones and other electronic devices away from you during study, as if you want to achieve big you need to sacrifice these all small things. Second point, don't stick to the same subject, same chapter, or same topic for a long time. Suppose you have to solve an exercise of 50 questions. You have made your mind that first I will complete this and then I will do anything else. And you started in full enthusiasm. In first 30 minutes you completed 10 to 12 questions, but for solving next same amount of questions it took 1 hour 30 minutes, but still you are holding on your words and engaged in the same task. After some more questions, you realize that a lot of time have been passed and still you are not able to complete it. This happens with many students that when they start studying any chapter, they think it would be completed in 1 to 2 hours. But when they start after a long time doing that work, still some portions would be left. This is due to wrong interpretation. You think that your mind is persistent, but it's wrong. Your brain also get tired, also feel tedious. So in first hour for solving that exercise, your mind was fully energetic, totally empty. So you were able to solve a lot of questions in few time. But after some time doing the same work, it would get bored and it would be fed up with the same thing and your efficiency would be decreased. So after studying for a long time, you were not able to complete a single task. And so you would be aggrieved for this. And in consequence to this, some students think that studying is a very difficult task and they begin to lose hope. But actually they are dissemble. So they need to plan first. Third point is always work on a routine. Most of the competitive exams contains various subjects and thus studying only one subject will not work at all. So you need to study all the subjects every day. And for this you need to divide your time for all your subjects. You need to make separate slot for every subject. And the last point also concluded that reading the same subject for a long time will decrease your efficiency, and so changing the subject will mitigate your time loss and you can complete all the subjects also. Furthermore, keep a break of 10 to 15 minutes after 2 to 3 hours or after every slot, and only in this break eat something, drink water or go to washroom. You must have habit of studying continuously for 2 to 3 hours and only then you would be able to sit in exam. My fourth point is don't waste a single second. This happens with many students that they have scheduled their studying time at 9 o'clock, but if it's 8:55 they would start some other work thinking they will start their study at 9 o'clock, but after some time they will realize that the clock has crossed the 9. Then they will postpone it to 9:30 or simply they would cancel this slot. And if anyone have habit of this, then it would be repeated 2 to 3 times a single day. And when day would be over, most of the time would be wasted for no reason. Similar thing they will do for some left work also. They will keep postponing it to next day but never get it completed. So don't do this. Prevent procrastination. Just start your work whatever time it is, as time waits for no one. Sometimes you would be earlier and someday you would be late. Fifth point, always keep an insight of yourself. What are your weaknesses? What are your flaws? What are your limits? What are your capabilities? What are your wrong aspects? And this will avert you from going in wrong direction. My sixth point is always decide what you need to complete in every subject that day before starting your day. As if it's not pre-decided, some students get bewildered and are not able to decide what should they study and waste their time. So to prevent this, when you wake up or when you start your day, you note down all the tasks you do on that day. This will save your time in middle of the day, as it is pre-decided what you need to study on that time. Seventh point is don't get emotional while studying any subject or topic. Suppose you have 2 slots for every subject. You started a subject, now your time is over for that subject, but still something is left in that subject. Now you thought that a little is left which would take a little time and you still went on that subject even if it's time for next subject. After a long time you realize that completing this you have killed your time for next subject. And sometimes you think that any question is easy but you are not able to solve it. You took this thing on your ego, and after wasting a lot of time you found that the question was wrong. So wasting the time will also decrease your output. Give appropriate timing to each question, and if you are not able to solve, just pass on to next. Always keep habit of solving questions in 3 rounds. Try to solve all the questions in fixed timing, and if you are not able to solve some questions and it is wasting your time, just leave it for second round. In second round attempt the left questions again, and surely you would be able to solve some questions in second attempt, as if first time that concept didn't strike in your mind, but second time you got the way to solve that question. And in third round attempt the last few brainstorming questions. You need to give some time to these questions as they are tricky, but if you are not able to solve for the third time, just check what you are missing for it. Just fight with the question. Consider it as war. As big wars can't be won in first attempt, it would take 3, 4 or even more. But every time you need to increase your army, weapons, strategies, efforts, determination. So for solving these types of questions, the same way you need to learn more concepts. You need more practicing. You need more revision. And also keep in your mind that you will solve this question just like both side of war opponent think that they will win the war. There is a rule of victory over enemy. If you want to win the battle easily, just find out weakness of your enemy and attack on it. You also need to find out the weakest point of that question. Every question has a weak point, but remember the point is weak. Finding it is not really easy. And if you are able to find weak point of that question, you will easily solve it. Also remember to note these types of questions, as revising these will increase your speed and thinking capabilities for these type of questions. Similarly, don't get emotional for any topic or subject. If something is left, then pass it on the next slot of that subject and pass on to next subject. Eighth point is apply every point to every place where you need it. This means apply these points to smaller and larger to larger extent. As I told to divide your timing for every subject, similarly divide your timing for working days also. Suppose there are 6 working days, so just keep only 5 working days and one day you keep for all working days leftover work. Suppose you set a goal for a day but you were not able to complete it. You passed it on the next day. Next day you have other goals also, but your previous day's leftover work at your most of the time, and second day's work would be passed on to third day, and every day you repeated the same work, and due to this you got a backlog. And in last point I told that don't waste other subject slot for your previous one. Similarly, don't waste your next day for your previous day's work. And in your daily routine also keep a slot for leftover task or something which is very important to be completed for next day. Just don't disturb normal routine, and also don't waste your working day. Pass all your remaining work to the reserved 6th day. Let's take other example. Suppose you have to complete a chapter on a day and you have 2 slots for that subject. You have some topics to revise and some problems to solve in that chapter. So just schedule first slot for revision and second slot for question solving. Even if in first slot you were able to complete 70%, so just don't waste second slot for remaining 30%. Pass on to next goal, that is problem solving. Suppose in your institution one chapter is going on and you got some exercises and DPPs to solve. So just solve whatever you were able to solve. If your institution went to next chapter, you should also pass on to next chapter. If you'll try to complete first chapter's remaining work, then your institution would cover most of the second chapter. And when you would start second chapter, your teacher would start third chapter, and this will create backlog. So just leave the leftover work and try to complete this in your last slot or when you will get any break or vacation. Ninth one is start small and achieve big. Let a student study 4 to 5 hours. He got motivated from any source and made a routine to study 14 hours a day and a very heavy goal for next day. And next day he was only able to study 3 to 4 hours and got demotivated. So don't do this. If you study 4 hours a day, just keep small goals and if you are able to complete it, then increase the goal by 5 to 10%. And if you are able to do, the next time again increase 10%, and after some day you would yourselves reach that heavy goal. So studying for 4 hours to 14 hours will take some time. You can't achieve in one go. So remember to start small to achieve big. 10th point is maintaining consistency is the key. Keep doing your work persistently. Don't take any break. Some students study a single day 15 to 16 hours and then waste the whole week. As you need food every day, study is also needed every day in the same manner. If you will miss your meal, then you will become weak. The same way, if you will miss your study, you will become weaker and weaker. As you can't digest the food of whole week in one day, so you will not be able to complete one week's work in one day. So just study only 6 to 7 hours but every day. This will also affect your output. My last point is always track your time and study with 100% concentration. Some students while studying have habit to talk, watch TV, listen to songs, etc. Suppose you are studying and your phone notification rang. And now you took your phone thinking you will keep it in 2 minutes, but when you took your phone you got engaged, and after a long time you realize that you have wasted your time. Suppose you are studying and you heard some sound, you get out of your room to see and you saw your siblings are playing or some guests have come. So you just got engaged with them. And let while studying you started thinking something which took most of your time. These all are distractions. These distractions can act lethal for your dreams. So you need to avoid this if you want to be in that 0.1% achiever. I know it's very difficult as 99.9% are not able to do, but if your dreams are big, you need to sacrifice all this. No one is born different. They worked hard, sacrificed their comforts, gave persevered efforts towards their goal to become different. Remember one thing, the more successful you want to be, narrower the path will be. So, for these 2 years or whatever time is left, just turn into a saint, separate yourself from surrounding, and live in a corner alone for these precious time. Be away from what is happening around you and only focus on yourself, your dreams. Just leave your mobile phones, movies, TV, social media, as if you don't sacrifice for what you want become your sacrifice. So you need to sacrifice all these for your dreams. And otherwise one day your dream will become your sacrifice. So basically conclusion is you think that you study 14 hours but actually you read 10 to 20% of it only. You just include all your wasted time in your study time. Sitting with book only doesn't mean study. Doing any task means to do it with 100% concentration without any disturbance and no multitasking. So always try to note down how much you studied that day for every subject for every slot of your routine, removing all the wasted time. And then only you will get to know how much you study actually. If you have slot for 2 hours but you studied only 40 minutes, so just count 40 minutes for that slot. And now after doing this you would get to know that output was not less, your efforts was less. And if you will do this, you will surely increase your real study duration and thus your output. At last, I want to tell one thing that if you want your dreams to come true, then stop giving excuses and work till it comes true. Nothing more for today. Thank you guys. Bye.